Hello and welcome to the final part of this Better Backgrounds video tutorial. In the last part we showed you how to use the clone tool just to remove elements from the background that weren't wanted. In this part we're just going to blur out the background, apply levels and sharpness to the daffodil layer and finish our image. Okay, so make sure you've got your background copy layer selected, go up to Filter, down to Blur and to Gaussian Blur. And we want to apply a radius blur to that of about 25 pixels. If I just reduce that slightly, see we've still got a little bit too much information there. Up to about 46, we're just taking it too far. About 25, we've got a nice even blur, and we've just kicked back the detail, but you can actually see the location of the daffodils within the picture. So we're happy with that, we click OK, and we've got a nice blur across the picture. We can now switch back on our layer 1, which has our daffodil images, and we've got these nice leaves as well, just giving it that sort of depth of focus. And what we now want to do is just to apply a few finishing effects. Now you can see the effect of the cloning that we did in the previous part, and we don't have any haloing going on around the edges of our flowers. Just to give you a quick demonstration of what would happen, I'll just copy the original background layer, apply the same blur, and now if you have a look around the edges you'll just see this yellow haloing going all the way around the edge, and it looks very fake. We switch on our adjusted background layer, you'll see all of that haloing disappear. So that's the reason for the cloning in the previous part. We've got a much better meld between the two layers. Okay, moving on to the daffodil layer, we're going to apply levels first of all. So shortcut for that is Control or Apple L. If you don't want to use shortcut, just go to Enhance, Adjust Lighting, and you'll find levels there. Now I want to adjust our levels with shadows at 20. That just increases the shadow areas. We're going to increase our midtones to 1.1. And again you can suddenly see that lifting the lightness of the image, but then we're going to take the highlights down to 210. So you can see here in the histogram we've just clipped the highlights just slightly, but that's really made them nice and bright, really nice bright daffodils. So we're happy with that, we'll click OK. And the final thing we need to do actually for enhancement is just to sharpen those daffodils up a little bit. So if we go up to Enhance, down to Adjust Sharpness, make sure our preview's at 100%, and we can just left click and move around our preview to an area we want to check for sharpness. I'm going to give it an amount of 70 and a radius of 1.6. If we take it up to 3, we can suddenly see it's introducing quite a lot of grain there, and we're getting almost paint-to-light effect. So if we take it down to 1.6, and we've got quite a nice average there, and that's getting us quite nice and sharp, especially around these petals here on the flower. So we can click OK and apply that sharpening to our daffodils. And once that's applied, our final step is just to flatten down the image. So go over to your layers, click on your layer options, and we're just going to select flatten image down at the bottom, and we'll suddenly see all of our layers are now back into that background layer. So that's ready to save down, or you can go on and print that image. So that's how to get a better background within an image without actually replacing it.